to discuss. We will try to discuss about the State Election Commission, that is the Unit 8 in this. Now, as we all have, you must have studied in the last semester, in the third semester, that is in Union Administration, about this finance, that is the Election Commission. Now, in the state, as we are studying the state administration, we have to discuss about the State Election Commission. Now, from the article, as we all know that from the Constitution of India, under the Article 324, says that there should be an election commission. But now, under this, the State Election Commission constitutes under the Article 243K and Article 243ZA. So, the State Election Commissions can be constituted under the Articles 243K and 243ZA for the conduct of state level elections. Now, in fact, the 73rd Constitutional Amendment Act has provided necessary constitutional base to establish separate election commissions for strengthen the democracy, because the 73rd Constitutional Amendment Act explains us about the local governments, that is a decentralization, whereby giving scope for or weightage for the district level and mandal level and village level panchayat, that is the Panchayat Raj institutions under the 73rd Constitutional Amendment Act, and municipalities under the 74th Constitutional Amendment Act. So this under this we have elections are conducted in Gram Panchayats, municipalities, Zilla Parishads. In all these, the elections are conducted. Now, coming to the composition of the State Election Commission, the State Election Commission is appointed. The State Election Commissioner is appointed by the Governor of Telangana and holds a time period of 5 years from the date of assumption of office. And the rank of the election commissioner is of secretary to the government of Telangana. So now we can say that he is having the highest rank in the government of Telangana. Now the State Election Commission is constituted under, as I told you, under Article 243K of the Constitution of India. The State Election Commission consists of one commissioner or one chief electoral officer. The commissioner is also called as chief electoral officer because he takes up the responsibilities of conducting all the elections in the state, and he is assisted by one joint secretary, on legal advisor and other secretariat staff, that is, who help him in conducting the elections in a smooth manner. Now, coming to the important functions of the State Election Commissioner or the Chief Electoral Officer. Now, we can say that he tries to, he explains or he sets the rules and regulations for elections, and also to determine of disqualification of elected members of local government institutions. Means he conducts, the Chief Electoral Officer conducts all the elections pertaining from the general elections to the Legislative Assembly to the Panchayati Raj elections at the Gram Panchayat level. So we can say that all these elections are conducted by the Chief Electoral Officer. So now, and the main functions we can say are to supervise all the matters. Now, what are the Chief Election Commissioner's functions? Is to supervise the matters relating to the counting of votes, declaration of results, issuing of certificates to the winners of elections. All these are the, we can say now, we see when the elections are conducted also that the counting of votes, the ballot boxes or the EVMs. The EVMs are the electronic voting machines where the citizens cast their vote, and the ballot papers are the physical papers on which the party names and the party contestants' names will be there with their symbols, and the citizens can cast their vote physically. Now, these all arrangements of the elections will be taken care of with the chief electoral officer only. And moreover, about these conducting of elections or matters of voting, and above all these, he has another important, or we can say important things, that is to determine, to disqualify of elected members on the ground of defection. That is, if the contestants who are contesting from that, or who are contesting the elections, they can be disqualified if they don't give their credentials properly, if they don't give their particulars properly, or if they engage themselves into any malpractices, then they can be, or if they give any wrong information to the election commission regarding their assets, their family, or their whatever, then they can be disqualified at that movement of time only. Then again, another important and valid point is to determine the code of conduct to the observed by the candidates at the time of elections. That is, what do we mean by code of conduct? Code of conduct is how the contestants are behaving in campaigning, in addressing the voters, and they should not abuse the other party members, or they should not abuse their co-workers, and also they should not abuse or should not use foul language against any other parties nor any other party members. And they should not break the constitutional laws and rules and regulations which are being framed by the Election Commission. And they should not, moreover, they should not give money to the citizens in favoritism. These are all the most important aspects which have to be taken considered when they are going for code of conduct. So these are we can say that these are the very, very important functions which are to be taken care of only by the chief electoral officer. Then we have, apart from these, we have other important functions as well. They are to determine the limitations of election expenditure of the candidates. That is, the election expenditure of the candidates should not exceed the limited amount. That is, once the elections are conducted, they have to give, or they have to, the election commission will fix an amount that beyond this, the party people or the contestants should not use the money. So this is a very, very important and valid point. So this has to be taken care of. So they cannot, if they go beyond that, then they can be booked under malpractice and they can be disqualified as well. And another important point to remember here is to allot election symbols to all the contestants of different positions. That is, now we all know the symbols of the parties will be decided by the Election Commission of India. But here it allocates symbols to all the contestants of different positions. That is, there might be different positions at a different level. That is, at the panchayat level, mandal level, zilla level, or at the district levels. So they have to be taken care of this. Then the last and most important one we can say is to promote public awareness, of electoral matters through the information programs. That is, it is the responsibility of the Election Commission to bring about, or to create an awareness program, or they have to address the people through various media to make or to create an awareness to cast their vote. Because we see in India that when there are elections, when their elections are held, everybody will think that it's a public holiday and they don't go out to vote. So it happens mostly in the urban areas. So they have to. And villages, in villages, we come to see that the senior people or the people who don't know the importance of elections and who don't know how to elect their, what is their importance as a citizen, what are their rights and duties as a citizen. So to counter all these, it is a responsibility of the election commission to address all these issues and should make sure that they take up the responsibility of creating awareness and guiding the people to cast their vote. With this, what happens? They can elect their own representatives in a very fair manner. That is all about the State Election Commission. Now we will move on to the next topic, that is the district collector, powers and functions of the district collector. Now we all know, what do we mean by a district? What do you mean by a district? It is a territorial, we can say that we can say that it is a territorial limits. It is a territorial limits of a place whereby it helps them to address the people's problems with the in a very efficient manner. That is, we can say that now this, why we are going for a district, why we are planning, or why our country has gone for this decentralization, that is to have better governance, to address the problems of the citizens in a very efficient and effective manner, and to have a clear information about the working of the system. All these can be said as an important things to address, to deal with this district. So district administration is, we can say, is a territorial limit whereby to provide better governance. That is the district. Now, under the articles 233, we have appointment of district judges as well. Now we have district courts where district judges are also being appointed, to whereby it is, we can say that a district is a small state in itself, because it has a court, it has its district administration, it has its government officials, everything which has to be planned and which will constitute the development of the state. So each district helps in the development of the state, we can say. Now, first we have to talk about the evolution of this district as a unit of administration. Now, where we have to go way back into the history, and we have to talk about the district administration, that is into way back in the history. We have taken this local administration from the British administration. That is British administration. Why? Because at that moment of time only, there was, we can see that there was a decentralization to. Why? Because the Britishers are appointed collectors to collect revenue from the people and to gather information about the people. So all this was taken for the district administrations. Then, well, we have to know much about the district collector. Now coming to the district collector, the district officer or the collector is the kingpin of the district administration in India. That is, we can say that it is way back, the district collector, this was created by Warren Hastings in 1772. As I told you, we have taken this British district collector from the history from the British era. So the main function from the main function of the district collector were to supervise general administration, to collect the land revenue and to maintain law and order in the district. And he also, the collector has been made a key person in the district administration. So Warren Hastings was the person and he has come up with the idea of creating a post of the district collector who has to be the key person in going on with better administration. So this we can say that it is all about the district collector. Now, when we talk about all these, the most important functions of the district collector. Now, district collector is the administrative head of the district. He is the administrative head of the district. The district collector is the connecting channel between the government and the district. That is the district people of that district. So he is a connecting channel between the state government and the citizens of that district or the people of that district. Then he is also responsible to give rightful information to the chief minister, and he can report to the chief minister directly because he is more powerful. And we can say that the district collector helps in attaining, or we can say he gives out a very clear understanding about the development of the district. Now coming on to the most important functions of the district collector. That is, the first one is as a collector. Now as a head of the revenue administration, of the district, he is responsible to take care of all the revenue matters. Now what do we mean by revenue? Revenue is the expenditure, or we can say the income what the government gets. The income what the government gets. That is known as the revenue. The first one under this is collection of land revenue. Collection of land revenue is what all the registrations or what all the if the people go for registrations of the land, buildings, all this, they have to pay some tax to the government, and that will be collected by the collector. Collector means his subordinates. He has many, as we all know, the collector he has a general administration. So under general administration, this is one of the wing of being a collector. He has to have the responsibility to collect the revenue for the government of Telangana. Then he also collects collection of other government dues, and also he also collects the information about the natural calamities. That is, if any natural calamities take place, then it is the responsibility of the district collector to assess the loss, and also should submit the report to the government and try to recommend to the government to get the funds for the farmers or the people of that particular, or that is, he should be a good recommendation. He should give out a good recommendation of to address the problems of the citizens, we can say. Then the other one is he is as a district magistrate, the first one is as a collector. Collector means collecting all the revenue, hence he is termed as a collector. Then he also acts as a district magistrate. He acts as a district because he is responsible for the law and order in his district. And the superintendent of police, the police force in that district with the superintendent of police at its head is kept under the control and supervision of the district magistrate, because the district magistrate is also called as a district collector. He is the ultimate authority, and he will be assisting, and he will be assisted by the superintendent of police, and superintendent of police is the head of that police department in the district, in the particular district. And he also inspects the police stations. He also inspects the district jails, and also he tries to exercise he exercises powers under Section 144 in case of disturbances of peace within his jurisdiction. Now, what do we mean by under Section 144? Section 144 means that group of people, when there is any communal riot, or when there is an untoward incident, when then there should be a group of people should not assemble on the roads, and they should not conduct meetings. So this all they should not go beyond the law and order. So it is a responsibility of the district collector to take care of the district and to take care of the law and order situation as well. Now, as a coordinator, the next function is as a coordinator. That is, he is a coordinator between the government and the district. He is because what all information the government gives out, that is about the developmental policies or the schemes or whatever is there, it is the responsibility of the district collector to communicate with and he should try to implement all those policies and schemes in a particular district on behalf of the government. That is an important point to be remembered under the district collector. Then he also acts as a crisis administrator. Crisis, what do we understand by the word crisis? Crisis means that if there is any natural calamity, or if there is floods, cyclones, or man-made crisis, then if there is any shortage of food, water, or if there is a shortage of any pesticides or anything which is relevant for the government, for the welfare of the district, if there is shortage of it, then it is his responsibility to address these issues and has to make sure that he gets it done. So this we can say is a very, very important function. Then he also acts as a development officer. The district collector also acts as a development officer. That is, he also, as I told you, he will be addressing the problems of the citizens. He tries to be a mediator to get solved the problems of the citizens, and also he tries to be a good communicator between the government and the citizens to go for more of developmental works. So, and also, moreover, to go on with a better administration, the district collector should have a very, very cordial relationship with the Zilla Parishad chairmen, the certain committees, the Mandal Parishads, and the village panchayats as well. That is, he should have meetings for the development. As he acts as a development officer, he should conduct meetings on routine basis with the Zilla Parishad chairmen, Mandal Parishads, and also the sarpans of the different villages, so as to bring about a development and to give out a better administration. So we can say that the district collector helps to bring about more and more developmental aspects in this regard. Then we have the district collector also acts as a protocol officer. Now, what do we understand by the term protocol officer? That is, whoever and an important person, whoever visits the district, he should be right there to receive them, and he should be right there to extend the hospitality to them. That is, if the chief minister is visiting the prime minister or any of the senior ministers or from the center and the state or any dignitaries apart from the district, whoever is having a very high profile, if they are visiting the district, then it is the responsibility of the district collector to take care of these and to receive them, to make arrangements for them. Hence, he can be called as a protocol officer. Then another important one is he acts as a census officer. That is, as we all know, that the government of India conducts a survey, that is, he takes census, that is called as census data. That is, every 10 years, the government of India takes up the data of the citizens and calculates the number of people residing in India, that is the population. It comes out with the figure of population and also about the statistics, that how many males are there, how many females, how many children, how many senior citizens, how much GDP is there, what is the cost of living. All these statistics are being calculated based on the census data only. Now, to each district to collect the census data, it is the responsibility of the district collector to collect all the relevant information. So we can say the district collector plays a very, very important role. Then he also, the district collector also acts as an election in charge, that is to conduct. Now, in few minutes back, we discussed about the Chief Election Commission, that is the State Election Commission, and we discussed about the Chief Electoral Officer. Now, the Chief Electoral Officer will be assisted by the district collectors, because these district collectors are heads of all their in the districts. So it is the responsibility of these district collectors to take care of the elections and to maintain, we can say, to maintain law and order during the elections time, and as well as to maintain a conducive, or we can say a good atmosphere to conduct the elections. And they also act, the district collector also acts as a returning officer. Now, what do we understand by the term returning officer? Returning officer means it is the responsibility of the district collector. Now, if the elections are to be conducted, then the contestants have to file their nomination papers. That is, they have to nominate themselves that they are contesting the elections, and whereby it is the authentication, or they will be given permission to contest the elections by the government. So this all work is being done by the returning officer. So the district collector also acts as an returning officer, because he tries to analyze, or he tries to make the elections, or to conduct the elections in a very smooth and effective manner. So we can say that the district collector plays a very, very important role in all the cases, right from the revenue administration, that is collection of revenue, and also collection of taxes. All the income, whatever the government gets, is considered to be the revenue. So it is the responsibility of the district collector to take up, to collect the revenue and give it to the treasury. So this is a very, very, I can say this is a very, very important task with the district collector. And moreover, the policies or the programs or the schemes which are to be implemented by the government has to be implemented by the district collectors in their particular districts. And they also means they have to help the government in formulating policies, and also in the implementation of the policies, and also in getting the results of the policies. So that by this we can say that the district collector plays a very, very important role in the district administration. Now, we will talk about the mandal and village administration. Now, we all know, what do we understand by local government? First, before going on to the mandal and village administration, first I like to talk about the local governments, that is the grassroots level governments, that is local rural self-governments, or governing ourselves at the grassroots level, at the panchayat levels, and as well as at the town levels, or at the municipal levels. Now we have to go, how did this all started? That is the local governments. Now this goes way back into the Balwant Rai Mehta Committee. The Balwant Rai Mehta Committee was constituted in the year 1960, and under the leadership of Balwant Rai Mehta, the government, they have submitted a report to the government of India to constitute PRIs, or to constitute, or they have submitted a report of democratic decentralization. That is decentralization, which is distribution of power at each level, so that the governance or the working of the government will be very transparent and accountable manner. So we can say that now, after this Balwant Rai Mehta Committee, here the recommendations of the Balwant Rai Mehta Committee were under the three-tier structure. Structure, that is, they have amended in their report that there should be a three-level government, that is at the Zilla Parishad, Mandal Parishad, and at the local level, or at the village level. And in their report, they expressed that the village level should have more powers. The village level should have more powers, and they should, we can say that this decentralization will help them in going on with a better administrative aspects. So we can say that the decentralization has paved the way for better governance. Now this can be, now apart from this Balwantrai Mehta committee, there were other committees which have been put forward their recommendations. The other committees were the Ashok Mehta committee, G.V. Rao committee, and Singhvi committee. Like that, there were many committees who have put forward their recommendations about the Panchayati Raj institutions, that is, and the local governments. Now, and in this regard, we can say that to establish the Panchayati Raj institutions under the government of India, and in the parliament, the bill was being placed in the parliament as 64th bill for the establishment of Panchayati Raj institutions in India, and in 65th bill as establishment of municipalities in India. And these two bills were being put forward in the parliament, but they did not see the light. But later on, in the year 1992, when P.V. Narasimha Rao was the Prime Minister, at that time, these two 64th bill and 65th bill were passed in the parliament and were being termed as the 64th bill has been termed as the establishment of 73rd Constitutional Amendment Act, and the 65th bill as 74th Constitutional Amendment Act. Now, the 73rd Constitutional Amendment Act was being placed in the parliament, and it came into existence in the month of April 20th, 1992. And this and the same like the municipalities also. So we can say that the district administrations, now the municipalities and the panchayats. Now, what is the importance of these Panchayati Raj institutions? The Panchayati Raj institutions play an important role in rural development. They not only contribute for the strengthening of democracy, but also help in grassroots level governance. That is, grassroots level governance is administering the problems of the people at the local level only. So the PRIs played a very, very important roles in the better administration. Now, under the 73rd Constitutional Amendment Act, the bill was there were main provisions and voluntary provisions under this. Now, what are the main provisions of the 73rd Constitutional Amendment Act? They were organization of Gram Sabhas. That is, as we all know, we have Gram Sabhas at the village level. Each village consists of a Gram Sabha. So under this Constitutional Amendment Act, it explains that there should be a Gram Sabha in each village level. Then second one is creation of a 3-tier Panchayati Raj structure at the district, block and village level. So as I told you, district is a Zilla level, then the Mandal level or the block level and village level. That is, the distribution of power should be created at the 3 levels to have better governance. Then all posts at all levels to be filled by direct elections, right from the Zilla Parishad elections to the village Panchayat elections. All the elections have to be done by the filled by the election commission only, and through the direct elections. And the minimum age for contesting the elections in the Panchayati Raj bodies is 21 years. and indirect elections to the post of chairman or president are intermediately and apex item tiers. That is, the chairman can be constituted and can be elected within the body of the elected members. Then another important one is reservation for women in the panchayats. Women reservation for women candidates is very important in the Panchayati Raj institutions. Then reservation of seats for STs in panchayats in promotion of their population. That is to give. That is, we can say, to have social justice. There were some they have reserved or they have given preferences for the SC/ST candidates and have made them, and they have given them some privilege of having some, we can say that in a to represent their community, we can say. Then next is creation of state election commissions to the conduct elections. As I told you, in conducting the elections, the state election commission plays a very, very important role, because the chief election commission at the central level will be taking care of the election commissions of the states. But each state election commissions will be handled by the, we can say, by the state election commission. Now, we can say that this is, we can say that the creation of state election commission to conduct these elections is very, very important. Now what is the term of office of these? The 5 years tenure is being given to these elected members, and if dissolved, then conducting fresh elections within 6 months will be done. Now, why do they have to be dissolved? If they show any malpractice or any favoritism towards any section of the community, then the panchayats can be dissolved and they can be, the new elections can be conducted within the 6 months of time. The panchayats, we can say that the panchayats have the gram panchayats can elect their own body. That is, and the head of that body is the sarpanch, and now the sarpanch is elected by the elected members of the elected members of the gram panchayat from that village only. Why? Because this is, as we are talking about local self-government, that is, they have to take care of their themselves. Locally, they have to take care of themselves. Then we can say that this helps. Now, these are the compulsory provisions. Now, we will talk about the voluntary provisions. The voluntary provisions include agriculture. Now, what do we mean by compulsory and voluntary? Compulsory means they have to implement all these provisions in the village, in the PRIs, that is Panchayati Raj institutions. And voluntary provisions are, if there is a provision and if there are funds, then they can go for these voluntary provisions. That is agriculture, including agricultural extension, that is taking care of the farmers, the agriculture, the agricultural lands, what else to be, what crops can be grown, what should be the income, how they have to take care, everything has to be taken care by the Zilla Parishad, Mandal Parishad, and the village panchayats. Then land improvements, minor irrigation, all these, that is rural housing, providing better drinking water facilities, Khadiya village and cotton industries, educational institutions, primary health, taking care of the primary health centers, providing of educational institutions to the children, family welfare, all these have to be taken care of by the PRIs if they are having funds, and it is their responsibility to take care of them. Then we have the Gram Sabhas as well. The Gram Sabha is a village assembly and it comprises of all the voters of the village, and it meets twice in a year under the chairmanship of the Sarpanch, and it considers all matters relating to financial, administrative and developmental programs of the village. Now, talking about the Panchayat Secretary, the Gram Panchayat, with the help of the executive officer or village secretary. Now, these village secretary all will be the government officials, performs some obligatory functions. That is, discharge all the duties and responsibilities entrusted to him. That is, he has to take care of the duties and responsibilities which have been given to assigned to them. Then he should visit localities of the people and take care of the weaker sections. And also the another important thing is he should prepare the annual administration report of the Gram Panchayat and prepares monthly progress report on Gram Panchayat administration. All these has to be taken care of. Then we have the Mandal administration. Mandal administration is the Mandal, the nomenclature of intermediate level. Mandal is the intermediate level. What do we mean by intermediate level? It is between the Zilla Parishad and the village Panchayat. So connecting these two is the Mandal Parishad. Hence it is called as an intermediate level. And this can be termed as a Taluka Panchayat or Block Panchayat or Mandal Parishad. There, in each state, it has different names. Now, what are the important? The president or vice president of the intermediate level are indirectly elected by the directly elected members of the Mandal Parishads. As I told you that the chairmen and the vice chairmen will be elected within the body of the elected members. So it is the responsibility of the members to and all of them, right from the Zilla Parishad to the Gram Panchayat, they all are the elected representatives. That is, the citizens elected them from within them only. Now coming to the important functions, that is the most important ones are the community development, that is the execution of all programs under community development in association with panchayats, cooperative societies, etc. Then it has to take care of the agriculture, the animal husbandry, health and rural sanitation, that is what all activities which have to be taken care of for the welfare of the citizens have to be handled by the Mandal Parishad only. That is, it might be education, communication, cooperation, anything, whichever is needed for the development of that Mandal, then it is a responsibility of the Mandal Parishads to take care of all these. Then we have under this Mandal Parishads, we have the Mandal Development Officer. The Mandal Development Officer are the executive officers of the Mandal Parishads, and they request approvals. That is, the Mandal Parishad officer is the last level gazetted officer, MPDO. Normally they are called as MPDO. Then he takes up the responsibility of conducting the meetings and taking care of the developmental works in the Mandal. And next we have the Mandal Revenue Officer. The Mandal Revenue, MRO we call him as. The Mandal Revenue Officer is also known as Tehsildar. He is the head of the Mandal administration. The district administration head is district collector, and the Mandal administration head is the Mandal officer. So revenue functions, as I told you about the district administration revenue functions, that is the collecting of revenue, is the responsibility of the district collector, whereby in the mandals, it is the responsibility of the mandal revenue officer or the tehsildar to collect the land revenue. It might be related to the collection and recovery of the land revenue and other dues of the government. Because as he is a government officer, he has to fill the treasury of the government. So his ultimate motto is for revenue generation. So he tries to take care of the revenue matters, and he tries to assist them in the revenue matters. And he is responsible for the matters of survey and land records. He is responsible for all the land surveys and land records. And he is assisted by Deputy Tehsildar, revenue inspectors, etc. to carry out these activities. And the Tehsildar has magisterial functions and is also responsible for maintenance of law and order in the mandal. Now, we have discussed at the district level that the district collector is the head of the district and he is taking care of the district administration. Whereby here at the mandal level, the mandal revenue officer is the head of the mandal, and he, as a government official from the administrative side, from the government official. But whereas from the people's side, the public representative will be Mandal Parishad officer, the chairman of the Mandal Parishad. So these two will be taking care of Mandal Parishad at the Mandal level or at the block level. And he also, the Mandal revenue officer also tries to take care of the maintenance of law and order in the Mandal. So this is all about the Mandal revenue officer and the village and Mandal Parishad or the panchayats. In today's class, we discussed about the State Election Commission. Then we discussed about the district collector, evolution, powers and functions. And the last topic we discussed is about the village and mandal, or the mandal and the village administration, panchayats and their administration. So this is all about these three topics. If you have any doubts, once again, I'll try to repeat what I have discussed today. In the first topic, in today's first topic, that is the State Election Commission, we discussed about the State Election Commission, that is the governor appoints the the State Election of Commissioner, and he also is also called as the Chief Electoral Officer. He is responsible in conducting elections in the state, right from the general elections to the grassroots level elections, that is at the village panchayat elections. Then we have the second topic, that is the district administration. In the district administration, we have discussed about the district collector, the powers and functions, and also the evolution of the district collector. It was Warren Hastings in the year 1772. He came up with the term district collector, and he has proposed some important powers and functions to him. So we can say that it is moreover, the functions of the district collector are, he acts as a collector a developmental officer. He acts as a coordinator, protocol officer, census officer. In all these aspects, he tries to be, and he is an administrative head of the state as well, district as well. And later on, we discussed about the village and mandal administration, that is the panchayats, according to the 73rd and 74th, or we can say only the 73rd Constitutional Amendment Act, the establishment of Panchayati Raj institutions at the low grassroots level, and these are called as grassroots level panchayats. And they also, now why do they have been constituted? They have been constituted to focus on the better efficiency and effectiveness at the district, at the mandal and village level. And they under the Constitutional Amendment Act of 73rd, we have the compulsory and voluntary provisions, whereby the compulsory are conducting of elections, having 21 years of age to conduct the elections at the mandal levels and the village levels. And the voluntary provisions are taking care of agriculture, irrigation, education, hospitals, healthcare, primary health centers, cottage industries, irrigation facilities. All this has to be taken care of under the voluntary provisions of the 73rd Constitutional Amendment Act. This Constitutional Amendment Act of 73rd was being established in the year and being placed in the Parliament, and was being constituted in the year 1992, when P.V. Narasimha Rao was the Prime Minister. So this is all about the today's class, that is the State Election Commission, district administration. In that we discussed about the district collectors, evolution, powers and functions. And the third topic was about the mandal and village panchayats. In that we decided to discuss about the 73rd Constitutional Amendment Act, and we also discussed about the establishment of these, the mandal revenue officers and the mandal parishads. So this is all about today's class. Thank you.